I killed a man. I didn't mean to, but I did it all the same. I suppose it was a case of him or me. And yet I feel sick in my stomach. People have died because of my actions before, it's true, but those were accidents. I suppose this is an accident as well. Fuck. I can't help but feel I wouldn't have got this far if it wasn't for Bjorn. Though, how does a businessman like himself become so comfortable with weapons and shooting people? More and more, he seems like someone else entirely. I'm starting to feel I have no idea who Bjorn really is. Perhaps it doesn't really matter. The past is the past, after all. Right now, I feel like I owe him my life. Well, perhaps I saved his today. At least we now know a little bit more about our enemy, this Slavic association. I confess walking in through the front door was a lot easier than I thought it would be. The thing is, I still don't understand why they seem to fear us so much. It seems like they want to remove us quietly, though. They seem to be covering up a lot of the stuff we're doing. They obviously want to handle us themselves, which is good, because otherwise I know the police would be looking for us a lot more closely. I still feel like we're missing something. We need more information, fast. This is Red Moon Roleplaying.
Bjorn comes into the car, just as you're sitting there with Jenkins.
I kind of have a moment, sort of snapping back to reality, as it were, reflecting on the fact that I've just been sitting here petting my cat, when really we have more important things to be doing. I give Jenkins a final little pet, and get him into his basket, secure it. Bjorn, right, what have you got?
We should be fine, as long as we don't make a mess or noise.
Bjorn, you have a feeling that if you sit out here, someone might take notice of the fact that there's a nice looking Mercedes in this, well, not particularly nice area. You have a feeling that if you want to wait for the dark, you better be somewhere else.
Carver, I don't think we should stay here.
Oh, right. Of course.
Do I feel okay to drive now, or?
You don't feel quite right, but you feel good enough to drive.
Let's go someplace where we could park that's not too far from here, and let time pass.
And that is what you do. And it becomes night. How long do you wait? What time would you like to do this?
Well, a place like this, I mean, normally would be evacuated at around 8 at the latest, but, well, let's say around midnight. I don't see how they would be. They could be late workers, of course. The archivists have a tendency to do overtime because of their passion and deadlines. So let's make it 1, perhaps.
And it becomes 1 o'clock. It is now Friday, September the 20th. You drive up to the Slavic Association, and it is completely quiet now. All of the lights are off. There's only a street light outside, flickers a bit.
Let's see if the window is open still. I'm motioning to Carver to follow me to the side of the building, where I know that I left the window open.
You move towards the side of the building. The window is still open.
I motion to Carver to get up into the window, and I offer to help him with a hand.
Do my best to climb in carefully through the window.
It's not particularly difficult. It's not very high up. You are both able to make it into this meeting room. It's now completely black in here, completely dark, and completely quiet. You have these benches that stand in several rows, the speaker's platform and the podium and this slide projector that's resting on a table. There's a little bit of light coming in from the open window, but other than that, it's dark. What light source have you brought?
I brought a normal flashlight, not a big one of the smaller Maglite style flashlights, and I've also got some customized lockpicks based of what I could get from the local hardware store.
Indeed, you have both of that. And do you turn the flashlight on?
I make sure that all curtains are actually pulled by before I do so.
You do so, and then it becomes, of course, pitch black inside of the meeting room.
I take a deep breath and just shine the light around the room for a moment before looking to Bjorn and remarking quietly, "From what you told me, perhaps it's best we head upstairs first. Something tells me all the important stuff will be there. What do you think?"
Okay, I'm gonna trust your instinct on this. Let's try to make our way up there and try to avoid, obviously, shining our lights through windows.
You move through the hall. Again, it's completely quiet. This entire area is quiet, and the building is quiet as well. It really seems as if you have been able to come at a time when there's nobody else here. You make it into this entrance area that you visited earlier, the door to Black Sun Publishing and the stairs that go to the second floor.
I'm gonna take the lead and I'm gonna start heading upstairs.
You go upstairs and you come to this area with the passenger elevator and then the doors that have this handwritten note saying the Slavic Archive, and then the door marked the Slavic Association.
I'm gesturing towards the archives, and I go to the door and I try to listen to hear if there's anything in there, anyone in there.
No, not that you can hear. There's no sounds or noise coming at all. It's strange, didn't Anton say that he was going to come here?
Well, let's see what we can find out. Let's try and open the door.
Yes, the door opens. It is not locked. In front of you is a grey hall with a couch pressed against one wall. There's a vivid painting depicting a human being turned inside out that hangs above the couch. You see that the painting has been signed. It's a little bit difficult to make out the signature, but it looks to be Philip Kramer.
So he paints.
What room are we in now?
You're in room 12.
Okay. So this would be some sort of waiting room, I guess. Alright, I suppose we should just try and make our way through all these rooms here and see what we can find.
I'd agree. And it's still completely pitch black up here, yes? There's no signs of any activity.
No. You look at the different doors that are here. There is one, the one at the top here, which has the words Anton Mahler printed on the door. The one leading into room 17. The door in front of you is marked Archive Room. It's got a brand new metallic door. It looks to be able to absorb a lot of force, and it looks to be very, very locked. And then the room at the bottom is marked Library.
Well, archive door. What do you think about that?
I go to the Anton Mahler door. I try and fiddle with the doorknob.
The door is open. It's an office. As you look in and see, it's well kept, decorated with a desk, small Macintosh, and a manual typewriter that's on the tabletop. Along the walls, there are bookshelves containing what looks to be journals of various kinds, a lot of occult writings, also some financial manuals. There's a desk almanac.
I suppose I start trying to investigate this room then. Looking around for anything with names like Anton or Philip Kramer, or anything that looks recent. I kind of mutter as I'm doing it to Bjorn. What the fuck? You're supposed to be here. Why are these people never here?
Look in the desk if there's a key of any kind. We want to see if we can get into that archive door.
It's just filled with stationery of various kinds. Nothing really interesting. The desk almanac is a little bit more interesting. It's got a note on it, one of the few ones actually on there. It's for tomorrow night that says, "At Sasha, 2200. There's also a post-it note on the computer monitor that reads F 345678009. The area code indicates that this should be close to Hauptbahnhof.
I make a quick note of that, taking out a little pad and pen I always have on my person. Do you think he's meeting with Mr. Pagodan tomorrow at 10 o'clock? Is that what that means?
Well, it certainly seemed like it, yeah. And when there's 2, there might be 3.
Wonderful. More breaking and entering places. Ugh. I leave the room, a bit irritated. I'm not really finding what I want to find at the moment. And I head to the library.
You move towards the library. You come in, and there are these filing cabinets in here. The books seem to be secured in these locked filing cabinets. One of them is open, giving you a bit of a feeling for what you might be able to find inside. It looks to be occult literature, the kind of stuff that you're specialized in. You see a lot of, you see within this open filing cabinet things that are maybe not worth so much, but are still quite rare. Mostly of German and Russian origin. You think if you were able to open all the others, you might actually have a bit of a treasure hoard here of valuable books. In the open filing cabinet, you find 2 books by Philip Kramer, actually. The Power of Dreams, and also a book called Death's Messenger.
Interesting.
Death's Messenger. I pick that one up. Just leaf through some pages. Do I know that one?
It's written in the same style as the first book, rambling in parts. It seems to be focused on detailing demons that are hunting humans and dragging them into tailor-made hells.
Unpleasant reading. I put it back.
I'm looking for anything by this Nigel Harkham. Do they have anything in here from him?
Not in the open filing cabinet. Maybe in some of the locked ones.
I examine the locks.
You think you can get into them if you spend a little bit of time. There's just a lot of them, so you don't know exactly where to start. They're not marked in a particularly clear way.
Alright, after having a look at them, I go over to the desk and try to see if there's some sort of index or perhaps a key even in the drawers.
You go to the desk and looking inside, you find a key. You also find a index of where things should be located.
Alright, so here we go. Knock yourself out, Carver.
Well, I suppose I'll draw on the knowledge I already have of the situation and try and look for various topics. Anything to do with Anton, Philip Kramer, dream curses, Russia. Trying to prioritize things. I know we're not going to have enough time to properly do this, but I'm just trying to think of where, in the moment, I'd find something relevant, basically.
Okay, then I'm gonna need you to roll to investigate, because there's a lot of books here, like a tremendous amount.
6.
You can ask one question.
What do my instincts tell me is important as I'm investigating this room?
So I mean, it is really a treasure in terms of basically everything you think you might need to investigate further into dream magic, into curses, is available here. You do have access to many of these books yourself already in your own collection, and you've studied some of the ones that you found in Magda's apartment as well. So you think you have most of the knowledge that you need already from there. You do, however, come across these books by Nigel Harcombe. They've been written between 1978 to 1983. There's 9 titles, and there's a photo on the book's jacket back that displays a smiling man with dark hair and black eyes. The inlay outlines how Harcombe has been a leading member of the Slavic Association, including several years on the board. Thing is, he seems to disappear after that. Nothing after 1983.
It's peculiar, I mentioned to Bjorn. I take a moment to look at my watch, and I kind of suddenly feel... We could spend hours in here, Bjorn. There's a lot here, but we don't have time. I think we need to look around a little more.
Is there any other door in this room?
Yes, it looks like there's another room to 14.
Exactly, there is another room to the archive. It's a similar metal door, also new, also very, very locked.
Very, very locked. I examined the lock. Is there anything I could do with this one?
This is one that would take you 24 hours maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fun.
And actually, with the tools you have, you probably couldn't do it. You have a feeling that you need a key for this one.
I'm tapping the door and saying to Cora, I'm guessing all the good ones are in here.
I'd be inclined to agree. I step out the room, and then entering the outside room, I then go to the other room nearby, 16.
So you move up towards the room that's marked 16. It's an office. It's not marked. It's modern, with machines and filing cabinets situated along the walls. There's a painting that rests against the far wall, turned around to hide its subject. You get a feeling that someone who does the books for the company probably works here, like their financial manager. You find documents marked Rosa Treutiger, Slavic Association financial manager.
I start looking these over. I'm primarily interested in the fact that I've obviously learnt throughout the day that there are weird economic things going on here. I'm wondering if there's something I can use.
You have a look in this room, but you get the feeling that what's here is there's something that feels odd about it. It feels very, very clean. You cannot find what you found in your prior investigations. It's almost as if this room has kind of been set up to be checked by the Economic Crimes Authority. Basically, it's almost as if it's prepared for that. So the books here are clean. They match with what an association like this should be, bringing in terms of income. They're disgustingly clean, the books.
I let out a little huff of annoyance. I then notice there's another door leading out, but is that just some sort of storage cupboard or something?
Yeah, you open up that door. It's a supply room. You check inside and quickly see that it seems to have standard office supplies. And also, there are boxes marked incense, copper and silver threads. It's got cartons of colored powders that are marked in Hindi text. And there's also a big box that's partly open, and you can see a skull in there. Human skull.
Standard office supplies, I guess.
And also ritual components.
Huh.
I go over and I'm not gonna lie, I help myself to some of the gold and silver threads. I kind of take a moment to gently pick up the skull. As I do this, am I feeling anything?
feel terror. You feel how your life is being drained from you, how your eyes are covered in blood. You feel like you really want to just put this away.
As I feel these horrible sort of visions, I know I should just put this thing down, but I'm just so stressed, I'm so angry at what's going on, I just try and ignore them, try and see through what the fuck's going on. Is there perhaps a chance of my enhanced awareness coming into play? Oh dear. It's 8.
Yes, and as you're doing this, you feel how all of a sudden the walls around you disappear, and they're sort of replaced by metal, by rusted metal and metal covered in blood. You hear chanting. There's a large group of people, and you realize that you're the one in the middle that everyone's attention is focused on. There's robed people here. They're all wearing robes, long serrated knives, and they're standing there right in front of you. The 3 Russians, Anton and Sasha and Philip, and they're staring at you. You feel how the knife penetrates your heart. You feel how your abdomen is cut up, how your intestines start to come out of your body. You scream, and you just want it all to go away. But it doesn't go away. Roll to keep it together.
4.
You're caught in this moment where this sacrifice, that's what it feels like. It keeps happening to you again and again.
I feel powerless. I feel like I can't do anything. I'm trying to find some center that this isn't actually happening, but it feels like it is. And I can't do anything. And I think the only thing that might be keeping me just a little from completely being broken is just the fact that I can see those 3. I guess this must confirm that it's them, that those bastards are doing this to me, and that maybe fills me more with anger than fear. But what can I do? Nothing.
Bjorn, you see Carver standing there. He's holding the skull. He's shaking uncontrollably. He doesn't seem to be well.
Carver? Hey.
No answer.
Hey, Carver. I'm trying to turn him around towards me.
You try to turn him around, and as you do that, he drops the skull, falls to the ground, it shatters into a whole bunch of pieces.
Oh shit.
And Carver, you're back.
The knives! Knives! Stop with the knives!
Carver, calm down. I grab his shoulders. Come on. You're here.
I sort of clutch really hard to Bjorn on his shoulders. I just kind of mouth nothing at him. I start crying. I kind of feel like I'll probably collapse if he doesn't stop me.
Carver, I'm holding him now. Are you alright? What happened? Come, sit down. I try to pull him over to the office chair.
How am I doing?
You're really shaken by this experience, but with the shattering of the skull, it seems as if the connection to the place you were in has been at least temporarily broken. You hope that it will never be reestablished.
There were so many of them, Bjorn. And the ritual, it must always be going, must always be active, of course it is. It's them, Bjorn.
What do you mean?
I knew it.
Some sort of channeling? I mean, is it just like something that's, to us, you mean? This thing? I point towards my arm, and my neck.
Possibly. Where is it? What happened to it? Where's that skull?
Well, it broke when you turned around. It's shattered.
Fuck it. We could have used that. How could I be so weak? Oh, I just sort of lean forwards and start cradling my head a little. Oh.
What was that? Was some sort of artifact? Was that a real skull?
Yes. I don't know, Bjorn. I saw all of them conducting their ritual on us. Philip Kramer, Pagodin, and Mauler. They are the Free. They caused this ritual. I know this now. There's no doubt about it.
Well, if they've got all this stuff that's meant to be used for rituals, surely the room intended for such rituals would be nearby. Why would they keep that here?
I shiver a little. I kind of just want this to stop, but I kind of steel myself and go, yes, we must... Let's investigate a little further. The rest of this room is useless. It's designed... It's a clean room. There's nothing criminal in here. Let's just if you could maybe lead the way. I don't feel well.
I go out into the hallway and I look at the steel door again and I'm thinking, I'm asking Carver, could they be doing rituals in there? Would it be big enough?
I don't think so, no. Let's explore a little further.
Alright, let's check out the other rooms on this floor.
Where do you go?
I intend to cross the hallway over to the other upper floors of the Slavic Association.
The room that you come into has an olive green couch and glass table that sits in the middle of the room. There's magazines scattered across the table, just the normal kind of magazines that you can buy in the city. Non-figurative art hangs on the walls. The room gives off a modern and sterile vibe, completely different from the secretariat that's one floor below.
Okay, let's have a look in the different rooms we've got around here. We're still snooping around with our flashlights, but every now and then if I get into a room that I see has no windows, I turn on the lights to just get an easier way to look around.
There are 3 main doors here. There's also, as you can see behind here, there are tables. It seems to be some kind of a meeting or kind of cafeteria area. So there are 3 doors here. The sign on the door to number 8 reads Alexander Pagodin. The sign to number 9 says Philip Kramer. And the 1 to 10 says Ada Lohman.
Do we know who Ada Lohman is?
In your investigation, it seemed like she was a secretary of some kind.
I look around a bit and, well, I guess, what about Philip Kramer?
You open the door to Philip Kramer's office. It's completely empty. There's an Apple Macintosh that sits on a desk against the wall. The bookcases are empty. And there is an almanac here that has not been used, at least the last 6 months.
I didn't expect too much, but I want to look around anyway, see if I find something.
You quickly notice that this office has been cleaned.
Huh. Yeah. Well, as suspected. Let's have a look at Pagodin's office.
You open the door to Alexander Pagodin's office. It's empty. Stacks of paper are piled on a desk. The walls are completely white and undecorated. There are 2 bookcases here that's filled with binders of what looks to be occult magazines that have been published over the last 5 years. So you have the papers. There is an almanac on his desk.
I'll go have a look at the almanac, see if it's been used. Is this place being used at all?
It is. It is being used. It seems to be used regularly. One thing that stands out to you is that there is a meeting tomorrow night at the mansion, 10 o'clock.
At the mansion. And we got the address to this mansion, don't we?
You do. It's in the phone book, and you have also found it in Magda's documents.
Right. Let's have a look at the papers that are scattering the desk.
Carver, are you also with Bjorn here, or are you...
I've stumbled in slowly. I'm a little bit distracted now, but I'll start looking at the papers.
It's got a few days worth of mail, and there's a bunch of sort of administrative paperwork. There's also some papers that have been printed on a dot matrix printer that are still connected together with perforated edges in a single length. They seem to be schematic printouts of magic rituals. Carver, you immediately see that this is a rough draft for some kind of summoning ritual. It seems to detail a ritual opening a gateway to the realm of the dead. The notes are unfortunately incomplete.
I start trying to memorize as much as I can and write down the notes that are there, because perhaps with just a little more digging on my own end I can... I don't know why I'm thinking about this sort of thing right now, I'll be honest, but something in my mind just seems to be around the concept of performing this ritual. How do you do it? What's missing? That's what I'm trying to establish.
When you're looking at it, you get a feeling that the ritual that you just went through, you were on the receiving end of, so to speak, that is the one that's detailed here. It's a really... it doesn't feel good. You can feel that knife sticking into you, but you know that it's not there. Not anymore, at least.
But wait. Does that mean we're not just under it? I start thinking about what Bjorn was saying earlier. The benefits of these curses. Is it possible that one of the things is you can use these people for more than one ritual? Have I been used in multiple rituals? How is that even possible? I don't even know. I start making down the notes and trying to memorize this thing. Bjorn, what did you say?
I see his sudden interest in what he's doing, and I'm just observing for a bit. And then I ask, does this make any sense to you? What is this?
It's possible ritual. Potentially in regards to summoning technique. Possibly of other entities. Possibly of the recently deceased or long deceased.
Huh.
It's not complete. But at least this is something.
Who would they wanna summon?
Have a guess. Who would you want to summon if you wanted to summon the dead, or some entity, Satan, that could give you power or something? And these people don't tend to think very logically. They were driven by emotion or the greed.
What do you mean, like summon a demon? Is that what you mean?
Possibly. There are demons, there are angels, and many references. I've always felt Satan himself being summonable by a simple trick is a little far-fetched, but...
Yeah.
Maybe something similar. It depends on your mythology.
I can't really grasp this. I mean, it's a bit over the top, but considering what I've seen, I kind of trust in what Carver is saying or going on about. I'm thinking, I don't know what summoning someone who's dead. Would they want to kill Magda to get the power to do that, or?
Look at these diagrams. Look at the positions. These, I believe, would be positions that your people would need to be in. It's very similar to what I just felt I experienced.
What do you mean? You felt you were in a ritual?
I felt that I was the centerpiece of a ritual involving people standing in these positions, inflicting things upon me, possibly to achieve some results.
So you think this skull could have something to do with the ritual? The one that we just smashed?
Maybe it wasn't even me. It felt like me. I ever think about it. Maybe I wasn't myself involved. Maybe that individual was the one who was involved. I didn't think of that.
It does feel as if you were living someone else's memories. The idea that this was the memories of whoever that poor sod was, that feels like that would probably be something that makes sense. But it felt so real. It felt like it was you. It felt like you were the one being stabbed with a knife. Your head keeps spinning. Bjorn, as you're standing here and you see Carver looking at this magic ritual, you notice that one of the drawers in the desk is sort of a bit opened, as if it's been sort of hastily shut.
Huh. I realize this is the first room I haven't looked through the desk, so I move over and to see what that is. Is there something in it?
You find a poorly closed, like built-in secret compartment.
Huh.
It contains something.
I open it up.
It contains a key. A key marked archive. Seems as if Sasha Pagodin was in a bit of a hurry.
I look at this for a bit, and then I look at Carver, and then without saying a word, I start making my way back again into the other place, where we found the big steel door.
I follow immediately.
This brand new metallic door is now in front of you. The key looks like it will fit exactly into this lock.
I put it in and turn around.
You open it. In here, you find archive cabinets, filing cabinets, filled with the secrets of the Slavic Association. There's a lot of material here, though. If you want to find out what's here, you will need to roll and investigate.
I guess I'll lead that. Although maybe Bjorn can help me.
He can.
Sure. I meet your eye and I nod, like, okay, let's start looking. And I'm trying to help.
I got 11.
I got, with the current penalties, I got 16.
So that takes it up to 13. And you think you have found most of the important stuff here, although there's a nagging feeling that there might be more. Things that stand out to you is in the financial statements that you find in here is records of a large amount of money, a few million German marks, that have been paid to something called the Germanische Gemeinschaft as a consulting fee. A man named Leonard Freude, the listed contact for this transfer. It's much more than the amount of money that you could find in the clean room that they would be moving in 1 year. This is tenfold that. There's also, in the records here, an envelope that contains a photograph with a gang of young men in German Wehrmacht military jackets. They stand defiantly in front of a building that looks like it's about to be demolished. Does any one of you know anything about far-right extremists?
Well, it's not something that I would have paid extra attention to, I think. More than the common man.
Yeah, but these guys look like they are definitely connected with the far-right, although you don't know which organization it would be. But definitely these kind of, people looking back to the Nazi era and seeing solutions that can be applied again in our time. You see 3 people that stand closer to the camera, 2 of whom you recognize. One is Philip Kramer, and the other, you get a flashback to the people that were coming out of the van. The man with the Molotov, the one with
the red face.
Then there's a third man who's dressed in simple uniform pants, a black shirt with folded arms and black gloves. He's got a short cut dark hair and dark eyes. Someone has written on the back of the picture, "Remember this first day when we achieved the Endsieg." It's signed Leo.
Endsieg? Leo? Leonard Freude?
That seems to be the case. Perhaps he is that third man.
I flip around the photograph and I seem thoughtful. Carver, This man here is the man that threw the Molotov cocktail and burned up my apartment. But I thought he was one of Myerson's guys. Is he connected to this as well?
I think so. Although, to be honest, part of me is starting to think that maybe even the people that came to my flat had nothing to do with Myerson. Hans was always confused when I mentioned there were people after me. Maybe we're dealing with someone different altogether. Maybe there's other parties involved in this, just other than the Slavic Association.
But that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. Why would they put a ritual on us and go all through this trouble just to kill us? I mean, to send a hit squad with people burning down the place and
You hear
trying
the
to
sound
shoot.
of a car outside. No, there's a few cars.
Huh.
I think we need to go.
They
Yeah.
seem to have entered the front yard outside. It sounds like they're very close.
Okay.
I start to put away everything we've touched as much as possible. I was trying to be subtle in our searching. I motioned to Bjorn to lock the door on the way out, and
I pocket the photograph.
Given that the cars have stopped outside the building, you wonder how much time you have. What do you want to do?
Do we think we can make it out where we came from, or would it be better to try and hide in here?
You think you need to get out of here? If people are coming in, that might be really, really bad.
All right. So, I close the big metal door behind me. I don't have time to go and leave the key again, and let's go where we came from and hurry down the stairs to get back to the window where we came in.
I say we hurry down the stairs and exit the way we came from, because we're probably very soon going to have them entering through the main entranceway very quickly. I'm already running with Bjorn.
And you make your way downstairs back to the meeting room. You exit through the window, and you hear men talking outside. It sounds like police officers. Yeah, we're investigating a call about a disturbance on Kartenaustrasse. It was an anonymous call, Russian accent, something about a break-in. At least it doesn't look to be anything with the main entrance. We're gonna check around the building to see what we can find.
Okay, I try to get the window as shut as possible from the outside. I try to pull it closed. And then I gesture just down the street for Carver. Just move down the street.
And I follow, trying to do it subtly, trying to just look like us passerby.
Act under pressure.
15.
And you are able to leave the police behind you. The blue lights are flashing a little bit. They're police cars, Ladas. They're white and green, Polizei written on the side. They still have the cars from the East German years. As you leave the Slavic Association behind, Björn, you know that you've been watched. Someone else was here. Someone who's been watching you for a while now.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play the campaign The Black Madonna for the tabletop role-playing game Kult, Divinity Lost. The Black Madonna was originally constructed by Gunilla Jonsson and Mikael Petersen in 1991, with additional material for the 2017 edition by Marco Berman, Matthias Fredriksson, Petter Nallo, and Robin Liljenberg. Kult, Divinity Lost is published by Helmgast. The music was created by Atrium Kasseri and is used with permission from their label Cryochamber. Visit cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel to hear more excellent dark ambient. A new episode of Red Moon Roleplaying is released every Friday. Please like our Facebook page and give us comments, input and feedback there. You can also visit us at redmoonroleplaying.com. Finally, a big thank you to all supporters. If you want to show your appreciation and encourage our work, look out for us on Patreon and see if you want to support the show there. While the show will always be free of charge to our listeners, Patreon supporters will have access to extra material, such as a bonus podcast where we answer your questions about the campaign and role-playing games in general. If you just can't wait, you can even get access to the full-length
raw and unedited versions of our gaming sessions way before they are released as finished episodes. Thanks for listening. Looking forward to meeting again next week.